Hello dear students, we are going to discuss the point photosynthetic apparatus of chapter bacterial photosynthesis. So we have started bacterial photosynthesis chapter and we have discussed general introductory points regarding bacterial photosynthesis, that is definition of photosynthesis, examples of photosynthetic bacteria which takes place in two categories, or which is divided into two categories, oxygenic and unoxygenic photosynthesis. So these bacteria, either they perform oxygenic photosynthesis or they perform unoxygenic photosynthesis. So which bacteria perform oxygenic, which bacteria perform unoxygenic, that already we have discussed in our previous lectures. Today we are going to focus at the point called photosynthetic apparatus. Now, photosynthetic apparatus, if we will simply define this term, it is defined as the apparatus, the reaction centers where the photosynthesis process is carried out, that is known as photosynthetic apparatus. Okay, apparatus means what? It is an instrument, okay, in which we carry out the reaction, in which we perform the reaction, that is the apparatus. Same is the concept related to this photosynthetic apparatus, that is, it is a reaction center in which photosynthesis process is being carried out, that is known as a photosynthetic apparatus. So this photosynthetic apparatus, it is a complex machinery consisting of large protein pigment complexes encoded by both nuclear and chloroplast genes. So this apparatus, these are the protein complexes, means these are the reaction centers in which photosynthesis process is carried out by using pigments. That is simply the definition of photosynthetic apparatus. Now, where this process of photosynthesis takes place, what is the part, what is the location of this photosynthesis? So there are two categories. One is pro and second is eukaryotes. Okay, so in eukaryotics, the photosynthesis takes place in chloroplast. Okay, in eukaryotes and in in eukaryotes, the photosynthesis takes place in chloroplast, and this chloroplast, it is the largest cell organelle present in plant cell. Okay, chloroplast, it is the largest cell organelle present in plant cell. While in prokaryotes, in bacteria, the process of photosynthesis takes place in chromatophores. Okay, it takes place in chromatophores. And in Cyanobacteria, the process of photosynthesis takes place in carboxysomes, which is also called as lamellisomes. Okay, so that are three classes, and the process of photosynthesis in Cyanobacteria is quite similar to the process of photosynthesis takes place in plants. So the process of photosynthesis in plants and Cyanobacteria is similar, okay, which is carried out through oxygenic photosynthesis, and bacteria, it is unoxygenic photosynthesis. So this is the structure of chloroplast. As I told, in plants, the site of photosynthesis is chloroplast, which is present in the plant cell. Okay, so this is the structure of chloroplast, which consists of outer envelope, then inner envelope is there. This plate-like structure is known as the thylakoid. Okay, so these are the thylakoids, and the stack of thylakoid is known as granum. So this is the single plate-like structure is known as thylakoid, and stack of thylakoid is known as granum, and inside this thylakoid plate there is thylakoid lumen. Okay, so where actually photosynthesis takes place inside this thylakoid, in the thylakoid membrane. Okay, in the thylakoid membrane, this process of photosynthesis takes place. Now the question arises, how actually photosynthesis process takes place? That we will see in our further videos. But the basic point is that in the reaction centers, the photosynthesis process is being carried out. Okay, reaction center में photosynthesis process ये होती है. Now in reaction centers, different photosystems are present, like photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Okay, so when I'm talking about reaction center, it is nothing but photosystems, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. This reaction center along with photosystem 1 and 2 is present in the thylakoid membrane. Okay, these are present in the thylakoid. So if we will see the detailed structure of thylakoid, then if we will see the detailed structure of thylakoid, this is the each thylakoid, and stack of thylakoid is known as the granum. Okay, stack of thylakoid is known as the granum. So first and last is the site of photosystem 1. Okay, first and last, it is the site of photosystem 1, and this middle is the site of photosystem 2. Getting my point? First and last are the site of photosystem 1 and middle are the site of photosystem 2. So these photosystems which are located at the thylakoid membrane, these are the reaction centers. Okay, these are nothing but these are the reaction centers. So this is about the location of photosynthesis in the eukaryotes. Now what about prokaryotes? What about bacteria, where the process of photosynthesis takes place? So in bacteria or in prokaryotes, the photosynthesis is carried out in chromatophores. Okay, chrome stands for color. So it is carried out in the chromatophores. These are the parts of the bacterium. The diagram is about the bacterial cell, and fimbriae, pili, you all are aware of this bacterial parts which already you have studied in your previous classes. So here the green round shape is the chromatophores, and chromatophores, these are derived from the cell membrane. They are found in the bacterial they are found in the photosynthetic bacteria. They contain the pigment which is used to convert light energy into chemical energy. So in the bacteria, chromatophores are the site of photosynthesis, and in eukaryotes, chloroplast in that thylakoid membrane is the site of photosynthesis. And in cyanobacteria, carboxysomes or lamellosomes are present, which are the site of photosynthesis. So we are seeing photosynthetic apparatus. Photosynthetic apparatus means what? It is the apparatus or the centers in which process of photosynthesis is carried out. Okay, and under this heading we are actually studying the pigments which are responsible to carry out the process of photosynthesis. Okay, and the location. So in photosynthetic apparatus, we study the location of photosynthesis and the pigments which are used to carry out the photosynthesis. Now talking about the cyanobacteria, if you will see the structure of cyanobacteria, it consists of the cell wall, outer layer cell wall or cell membrane, peptidoglycan layer is there, outer membrane, mucoid sheet, capsule, slime coat. So these are all outer part present. In the inner side, the main part is carboxysome, which is the site of photosynthesis in cyanobacteria. Plus Rubisco enzyme is also there. Now Rubisco enzyme, it also plays key role in the dark reaction or in the Calvin cycle. Okay, so Rubisco is an enzyme which has a huge role for fixation of carbon dioxide, that we will see in our further videos. Then this green color coiling structure is of thylakoids. Okay, so in cyanobacteria also thylakoid is present as similar to the chloroplast. So the process of photosynthesis in chloroplast and BGA is somewhat similar. Somewhat not, but it's overall similar. This is a green color is thylakoid. Ribosomes are there. DNA is there. If we will see the brief structure of this carboxysome, then it consists of the pigment called as phycobilosome. Okay, this is the pigment, same like chlorophyll, which is present in the plant. In Cyanobacteria, phycobilosome is the pigment. Pigment means coloring agent. It is the pigment present in the cyanobacteria to carry out the process of photosynthesis. So that is about the site of photosynthesis in eukaryotes, prokaryotes and cyanobacteria. If we'll take just thylakoid sheet, or if we'll just take one thylakoid plate, suppose this upper layer thylakoid plate we have taken, and this is the membrane of that thylakoid sheet. Okay, so this membrane of thylakoid sheet, it contains photosystem. As I told, it is a site of reaction center. Reaction center means your photosystems. Okay, so if we will take one sheet of that thylakoid, it consists of photosystem 1. Okay, photosystem 1, it is present first and last membrane of the thylakoid. So photosystem 1 is there, photosystem 2 is there, and this we know about the photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Already we have discussed that they are reaction center present at the thylakoid membrane. But this ferredoxin, NADP reductase, cytochrome B6F, plastocyanin, plastoquinone, ATPase, oxygen evolving complex, these all are involved in the electron transport. Okay, this all the names which I have told now, this all are involved in the electron flow of photosynthesis. Okay, so these electrons, they transfer from plastocyanin to plastoquinone, and that all we are going to see in detail in our further videos. But apart from, and this all the components, cytochrome, plastocyanin, plastoquinone, this all the components are present in the photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, or they take part in the flow of electrons in photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Okay, so there are different flow of electrons that we are going to see in our further videos, that cyclic pathway, non-cyclic, oxygenic, so that are there. But just as a brief introduction, these all are the components of electron flow of this photosystem 1 and 2. Moving on, if we'll talk about the pigments, then blue-green algae and red algae, they produce phycobilin, such as phycoerythrobilin and phycocyanobacteria as their light harvesting pigment. Okay, so phycoerythrobilin and phycocyanobacteria, these are the pigments produced by the BGA and red algae. And this pigment, they absorb the light at different wavelength. Like phycoerythrin, it absorbs at 550 nanometer, and phycocyanin, it absorbs the light at a wavelength of 620 nanometer. Now, what are photosynthetic pigments? Photosynthetic pigments, like these pigments, actually what is the role of these pigments? These pigments help to carry out the photosynthesis. Okay, so accessory pigments are there. Accessory pigments, these are the light absorbing compounds. Okay, light absorbing compounds found in the photosynthetic organisms, that are known as the accessory pigments. Chloroplast pigments are there. Antenna pigment. Now, what is antenna pigment? It is a new word for you. Actually, antenna, it is a type of pigment which passes the photon, which passes the light to the reaction center. Okay, means this antenna pigment, it captures the light and passes to the reaction center, passes to the photosystems to carry out the function, means to carry out the photosynthesis, to carry out the flow of electrons. That is just the function of antenna pigment or antenna complex or antenna molecule. Okay, so these are situated inside chloroplast in the thylakoid membrane of photosynthetic organism, and they capture the energy from light and transfer it to a reaction center where chemical reaction takes place. That is the role of antenna. Different pigments are there, like chlorophyll A, which is blue-green pigment, chlorophyll B, yellow-green pigment, carotene, orange pigment, xanthophyll, yellow pigment, and apart from that, one lutein pigment is also there, which is yellowish color, and it is included in the xanthophyll class. Okay. Then chlorophyll molecules and structure, if we'll speak especially about chlorophyll, because there are different types of chlorophyll like A, B, C. So they are, first of all, they are important absorbing pigment. They are important light absorbing pigment which are located in the thylakoid membrane. Plus, if we will see the structure of the chlorophyll, it consists of isoprenoid ring, and at the center there is a magnesium ion located. Chlorophyll pigment harvest energy. Harvest energy means light energy, and it consists of photons. Actually, light energy is also known as the photon. Okay, so chlorophyll pigment, they harvest, they take the light energy by absorbing at different wavelength, like blue color absorb the light at 420 nanometer and red absorb at 660 nanometer. So blue 420 and red 660 nanometer. Now plants are green in color because the green wavelength is reflected, not absorbed. Okay, leaf does not absorb that light, but they reflect. Okay, and due to reflection they appear green in color, and obviously photosynthesis is one of the reason which involves the chlorophyll pigment, and hence the color of leaf is green. So the majority of the pigment serve as the antenna complex. The main important role of antenna complex is to capture the energy from light and transfer it to the reaction center so that chemical reaction can take place. Okay, so that is the main role of the antenna pigment or antenna complex. And what happens in that, photons are being captured. Photons are being captured means there is an excitation state of electrons. Okay, means this antenna pigment, they capture the photon, and they capture the photon means what? Electrons are being there. Okay, photons are being captured means electrons are captured, and then this antenna molecule is full of electron, and it then reaches to the excited state and is ready to donate the electron. So it donates the electron to different photosystem, it donates the electron to different components, and then further the electrons are being transported to different components. Okay, so here antenna pigment plays very important role because it captures the photon. It captures the photon means what? It captures the electron and become fully charged. Now it's ready to donate the electron because it is in the excited state. Okay, so it donates the electron. So here the electron donor is the light. Okay, when we will see the pathway, that time it will be more clear to you, but here electron donor is the light, and it is involved in different photosystem. So the overall point to say is just one, that here antenna pigment plays very important role. Once it has been excited, it transports the electron, and after that it becomes normal, it comes back to the normal stage, it comes back to the relaxed form. Okay, so that is the overall function of this antenna molecule or antenna complex. This is the diagram of different wavelengths and the color of the light which already we have discussed, that blue color absorbs at the range of 400 to 480. So that already we have shown. And this is the diagram for the location of antenna molecule, antenna pigment, which is located in this thylakoid membrane as light comes. So there is this is the diagram of reaction center, which is too located at the thylakoid membrane, and as the light enters, this antenna captures it. There is excitation and electrons get transport, and then there is flow of electrons. So this is all overall process of photosynthesis, just brief part of the photosynthesis. And yet photosynthetic pigments are very important to carry out the photosynthetic reactions. And to carry out this photosynthesis reaction, we need the light. Okay, to carry this photosynthesis reaction, we need the light. And to harvest this light, we need light harvesting complex. Okay, just interlink with each other to carry out the photosynthesis. First point is that to carry out photosynthesis, we need light. And to harvest that light, to capture that light, we need light harvesting complex. Okay, and this light harvesting complex are nothing but the antenna pigments, which will capture, which will harvest the light and transfer to the reaction center. So this antenna receives specific wavelength of light and get excited and reach at specific higher energy state. Once they transfer the electrons, they reach to the lower state and finally returns to the acceptor. And as I told you, donor is light, as well as other molecule is also involved, that we will see in our future video. So your donor is light and your acceptor is NADH. How it is NADH, that we will see further. So that is overall concept that we want to see in our further videos, and the brief introduction already we have discussed in this video under the heading of photosynthetic apparatus. I hope you might have understood this video. Thank you.